We typically don't share with you our love lives, our friendships, our hopes and dreams. And so that means that we have more power over you because we know more about you. So it isn't like a friendship, because friendships are equal. Welcome to Therapy Explained. My name is Deniss, and I'm the therapist of color for people of color and your very own mental health cheerleader. I post videos about all things mental health because I believe that mental health information should be free and accessible to everyone. If you agree and would like to help spread the word, please make sure to subscribe to this channel. And if you are a fan of learning how to manage your own mental health, give this video a thumbs up. Today's video is about how to develop a relationship with your therapist. What is a therapeutic relationship, and how are you supposed to be developing a relationship with your therapist? So let's get to it. The relationship that you have with your therapist is known as a therapeutic relationship or a therapeutic alliance. So the relationship with your therapist is one where you should feel comfortable, where you feel like you can trust them, and it is a space where you can basically say anything and everything you would like to. Of course, it is also confidential, so anything that you say is kept between you and your therapist. Now, there are a few limits in terms of notes and legality and billing and things like that, but in general, you can typically say anything you want. As far as limits go, though, there is one big limit. It's safety. So if your therapist is ever concerned about your safety, physical safety, or the safety of someone else around you, they are legally and ethically required to do something about it. So this means if you ever threaten to hurt yourself or someone else in any way, or if you report that you are currently hurting yourself or anyone else in any way, there are steps that we have to take to ensure your safety and the safety of the people around you. Other than that, however, you should be able to say anything to your therapist. It's confidential, and it's also a space where you should feel safe processing whatever comes up for you. Another element of your relationship with your therapist is that it is all about you. Oftentimes I hear people say that your therapist is kind of like your friend, and it can be. I can see why you would feel that way. The reason why people tend to say this is because your therapist should be someone that you, again, tell everything to, that you cry in front of, that you trust with your deepest, darkest secrets, with things that you probably have never shared with anyone else. You've probably been or will be really vulnerable with your therapist, which is why it's important for you to choose a good one that you feel comfortable with. So it can feel like a friendship sometimes. However, the power dynamic with your therapist is very different. Your therapist has the power in the relationship because they are not vulnerable with you. We typically don't share with you our love lives, our friendships, our hopes and dreams. And so that means that we have more power over you because we know more about you. So it isn't like a friendship, because friendships are equal. But the good thing about this is that it is all about you, because that's how your therapy is supposed to be. You're supposed to be able to talk and process through anything that is coming up for you and develop coping skills. And that is the role of your therapist, to help you process things, to provide you with interventions and support. That's our role. You should also feel comfortable asking questions and expressing concerns with your therapist. Your relationship with your therapist is the perfect place to start practicing some of the things that you're learning with them. Things like communication and boundaries, you can do that with them. If anything comes up for you that you feel uncomfortable with or that you have a question about, bring it up. For the most part, we are really receptive to any questions or boundaries or feedback that you provide us with. It's okay for you to say, last session I brought this up and your feedback made me feel a certain way and I want to talk about it. It's totally okay for you to do that. Or the intervention you shared, I didn't understand why you had me do that, or I tried it and it didn't work. It's important for you to share that with us, because then we know what works and what doesn't, and we can improve the treatment to fit you better and actually work for you. So feedback is good. Try to practice it with your therapist. For the most part, we're really good at doing that. And And if there's ever anything that you're curious about in terms of our training or who we are as people, it's also okay for you to ask that. If we are uncomfortable ever answering a question, we're also really good at setting that boundary and explaining to you why we're not comfortable answering a particular question. But in general, it's totally okay for you to ask any question that comes up for you and express any concern that you may have. So let's review before we go. The relationship that you have with your therapist is known as a therapeutic relationship or therapeutic alliance. It is one where you should feel comfortable sharing anything that you want, and it is also confidential. There are some limits to confidentiality, which typically have to do with paperwork, administrative stuff, but also with safety concerns. And your therapist should go over this with you during your first session. Your therapy is also really cool because it's all about you. You should be able to process things, express things, and problem solve with your therapist, all concentrated on helping you get where you want to be in your therapy. I know sometimes it can feel a little bit like a friendship, but remember that it's not, because the power dynamic is quite different. And of course, because it is a space where you should feel comfortable trusting your therapist and it is all about you, you should also feel comfortable expressing any questions or concerns to your therapist at any point during your therapy. It is a perfect place to practice the things that you're learning in your sessions. If you found anything in this video useful, or if you are currently developing a relationship with your therapist that you have found has been useful or helpful, please go ahead and share it with us down below. If there's any topic that you would like for me to cover in a future video, also let me know by commenting down below. Your cheat sheet for this video is already available to you on Instagram, so hop on over there to get yours. But before you do, please give this video some love in any way that is authentic to you. Every comment, share, like, and subscribe helps increase access and information about free mental health information and education. And it is also very greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, I'm always cheering for you.